What's going on, guys? It's Ketzy here, and today I'm with my good friend Crack2 Network, and today we'll be scaling Haku Yuki. Doing this mainly because he's pretty underestimated in terms of, I guess, scaling in Naruto because he has this big anti-feat, but yeah, we're just going to scale to how strong he is. So.
Okay, so a big misconception about Haku is that he's only Naruto level because Naruto beat him, but actually we have multiple statements and implications that refer to Haku as holding back or not trying to kill, and we even see that where when Sasuke isn't dead because Haku doesn't want him to be dead. If Haku him to be dead, he would, but he isn't. So there is just a lot of proof for Haku holding back against them and suppressing himself against them, and that's why Naruto was able to essentially beat Haku.
So Haku says it himself, I do not want to kill either of you, but I will if I have to. And then we also come to how, like Crack said, he chose not to kill Sasuke multiple times. And Sasuke even comments on this and says he could kill me anytime he wanted to. And then, now that we know that Haku was holding back against small QB Amp Naruto and Sasuke, then we have Zabuza's statement that Haku is even stronger than him and Kakashi. So, what about that, Crack?
Yeah, and actually we have an implication is like a hint from Kishimoto a couple of chapters before that where Kakashi says there are ninja younger than Naruto but stronger than Kakashi. And while Haku doesn't really isn't really the case for Haku because he's older than Naruto, but still it's a indication that you can be very young and be actually stronger than Kakashi, and that's kind of the implication Kishimoto gave with that statement from Kakashi.
And basically, to top this all off, it's because Haku was basically very suicidal, and he literally wanted Naruto to kill him after. Okay, so QB and Naruto basically like punched him Haku once and like threw him, and Haku was already like willing to die because he was really tired of living, but he loved Zabuza and didn't want to see Zabuza die. And then basically Kakashi was going to Chidori Zabuza, and Haku literally blitzes Kakashi and jumps in front of the Chidori before Kakashi even realized it. And this is Kakashi with his 3 Tomo Sharingan activated.
Yeah, another thing that you need to understand here is that Kakashi, even when he was young, was able to cut a lining with his Chidori, but he wasn't able to like stop before Haku can interfere or even react to Haku overall. He actually, in the first place, he thought he caught Zabuza, but actually Haku blitzed him, and even he was even alive for a couple of more seconds, which is impressive because we know that people like Kakuzu died immediately, or at least one of his heart died immediately, but Haku was still alive for a couple of seconds after he got stabbed. So this just shows that Haku's determination and speed outclassed Kakashi, and if he didn't had this suicidal mindset, he probably could have actually beat Kakashi with very little difficulty.
So when we see Haku reanimated, we see him killing dozens of Chunin and Jonin that are fighting in the war. And then Kakashi's team with Guy and Lee go and meet basically where Haku and Zabuza are. And then we even see Haku matching and sort of reacting and blocking Guy and Lee in Shippuden in the war arc, where basically war characters where basically just every war character you got a huge buff. And we see Haku even still able to match and react and block my Guy and Lee at the same time. And it's also stated that Edo Tenseis are weaker than when they were alive, even though this might not be the most consistent thing.
And then you see even Haku taking attacks from Guy and Lee and keeping up with them, even though those are in Shippuden where they are way stronger than in Part 1, you know. Another thing that Haku shows that is very impressive, it's actually blitzing and essentially demolishing Sai. And you might ask, wait, why it's blitzing and demolishing Sai important? Like, isn't Sai father? Isn't he like Chunin or Johnny level? Well, no, because in the war arc we see him after Deidara and Sasori pissed him off a little. he literally bodied both of them. Like, yes, Sai bodied in the war arc Deidara and Sasori, and then you have Haku bodying Sai. So essentially, Haku at this point just scales above or even way above Akatsuki members. This is actually pretty crazy, and we know that Akatsuki members are easily able to like scale to lightning or even light in some cases. And we even have the data book that states that he is actually light speed. And this is important because the same data book says that the lariat of the lariat of the Raikage, it's near the speed of light. So Haku is the speed of light, but the Raikage is near the speed of light, making Haku actually faster than the Raikage, who, by the way, is stated to be it's stated to not be inferior to Minato. So yes, Haku is actually faster than Minato.
And just to specify, this is just Haku in his mirrors, and we're not saying, oh, Haku is way faster than KCM, Minato, Edo. No, Haku was just faster than Minato when he was alive. And Flying Raijin is really just teleportation and travel speed.
Another thing to support that he's light speed, if you just don't believe the data book because you say, oh, it's inconsistent. Okay, Haku himself admits or tells Naruto and Sasuke that he uses reflection to travel through mirrors. Reflection is basically based on light and the light that reflects from the mirror. So obviously, it's light speed. It wouldn't make sense not to be light speed. But now that we got that out of the way, okay, so he's faster than the Raikage, he's light speed, whatever. The most impressive feat he has actually it's blitzing again Kakashi, but this is War Kakashi. Alright? This is the same Kakashi that keeps up with KCM1 Naruto, who blitzed the Raikage who is near the speed of light. So essentially, just to give you an idea, he blitzed a character that scales to a character that blitzed the Raikage. So he's like immensely faster than the Raikage.
It's pretty hard to scale Haku's actually moveset and jutsu he can use because he has an ice kick at Genkai, but it seems really cool in theory, but we don't see much of what he actually does. The first jutsu he has is Ice Release, Ice Rock Dome of Magnificent Nothingness, and basically this is just an ice shield or ice armor that he can use. It's somewhat similar to Gaara's shield. Then we have his jutsu called Silent Killing. This is really just Haku killing people silently with his needles. We have basically certain kill ice spikes. These are basically ice spikes that impale Haku's opponents and kill them. And then we have thousands flying water needles of death. This is basically the jutsu of needles that Haku used to incapacitate and stop Sasuke's heart and make it appear like Sasuke died. And then we have dynamic mirroring ice crystals. These are the famous ice mirrors that Haku creates, and basically Haku steps into them and his reflection goes and duplicates him, and he throws needles at his opponents. And Haku has been seen using from basically 12 to 24 of these. It's really hard to quantify it, at least in the manga.
Yeah, his jutsus are actually pretty, I'm not gonna say lame, but they didn't show their full potential. For example, in Naruto Clash in the Land of Snow, I think was called, they create freaking whales out of ice, which is awesome. But it doesn't matter. So in terms of like how strong he is, we know that he is stronger than Sai. We know that he's stronger than Kakashi and Zabuza. We know that he's not as strong as the Chidori, at least in durability, but we know that he's stronger than those characters in terms of power or just his needles in general. So essentially, if you would have to pinpoint where he stands in terms of like physical power, especially since we see him tanking a double barrage from Lee and Guy, and his arms, don't get broken. So with this information, we can kind of put Haku in terms of potency of his attacks to low to mid Kage level. But yeah, in terms of speed, he's like above Kage or something like that. He's actually pretty insane. Maybe not above Kage, but like high Kage.
Okay, so in conclusion, we can safely scale Haku's power to being somewhere low to mid Kage level, and his speed is definitely high Kage level. Haku is definitely not the most hacks character in the show or the manga. He's no Itachi of what his capabilities are, but he's definitely a threat to most characters, and he would actually beat most characters that didn't get crazy power cliffing at towards the end of the show. So I hope this answers you guys how strong is Haku. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my friend Crack2 Network. He's a really good Naruto and Steven Universe YouTuber. Okay, and until next time, guys, bye.
You know, Haku thanked Raikiri and didn't die immediately, but you know who did die immediately? Kakazu, who is
multi-continental, and I have a cat.
Now, bitch, I'm about to fuck this cutie, so I whip out my katana and I knock this little bitch out with just one hit like I'm Saitama. Why you act like you retarded? Like, little bitch, I don't want drama. I still hit when she says no, don't understand when she don't wanna, ayy.